Hello, dear students. Welcome to the continuation of the lesson The Ambitious Guest. In page number 28, okay, you can refer to your textbook. Well, in our previous explanatory video, we were looking into the third paragraph, that is from your page 28. In our interactive session also, we have seen the character, the description of the young man, right? We have already seen with the description how the writer has described about the stranger, the young man who came to the cottage. So, how was the young man? We have learned that the young man was a proud, but at the same time he was kind. He was gentle, right? He was proud, arrogant, but at the same time he was kind and gentle. He was proud to those people who were rich and who were great, but at the same time he can also be a very nice person to the poor people. As the writer has told us that this young man, he was even ready to stoop his head low, right? So he comes to the cottage, to the very cottage, the family of the place where the family lived, and he was humble enough to bend his. He was very humble with the poor people, so he was humble enough to bend low, okay, his head low, and he was able to adjust well with the surroundings. So he was actually he was with this people, and he had a great time, okay, he had a great time with the family, and he behaved as if he was somebody's brother, okay, he was behaving as if he was some. You can see this in your third paragraph, that is in the fifth line, okay, and he was behaving as if he was like a brother or like a son at the poor man's fireside. So this young man, he was ready to lie low, okay, when he was with the poor people, and he can adjust well as if he belongs to their family, to the family. He was as if like as a brother, and also he can be at the same time as a son to the poor man's fireside. So now we will continue from there. We will continue from the fifth line, okay. I'm reading from the textbook. In the household of the Notch, he found warmth and simplicity of feeling, the pervading intelligence of New England, and a poetry of native growth, which had gathered when they little thought of it from the mountain peaks and chasms, and at the very threshold of their romantic and dangerous abode. So here, the writer again, he then tells us that in this cottage, okay, which we are talking about now, okay, about the family, okay, in this cottage, the stranger, he was able to find warmth, okay, love and affection. He was able to find warmth, love, affection, and simplicity of feeling. Simplicity of feelings means innocent kind of an environment, okay, there was an innocent kind of an environment in the family. They This people, okay, this mountaineers, this people, this family, they were very well versed, okay, they were very well aware of the progress, that is the things that are happening in New England, or like we can say whatever was happening in the cities, because they are not the city, right, they're at the countryside, they're the mountain. So they were aware of the things that were taking place in the cities or towns. But apart from that, okay, apart from that knowledge, this family, they had the beauty of simplicity, innocent, that the innocent which I'm talking about, like are is that innocent which the poets, okay, those who write poems and all, okay, these poets usually they look for the things, the innocent that the poets usually search for or look for when they talk about people, like when they talk about, when they are going to write about poems, okay, on people living in the mountains. So here, for an example, let me give you. You must have like experienced even yourself whenever you read some poetry, okay. Whenever you read some poetry, the chances are higher, okay. Chances of a poet writing a poem on about a mountain and people living in the mountains are always higher as compared to the situation when a poet writes about a city or busy life. Yes or no? Because whenever we read a poem, we see that this poet, they usually write poem about nature, about mountains. So chances of writing poems about these mountains, about the people living in the mountains, are much more higher than writing poems about those people who lives in cities and busy life. Okay, so this is what it means. All right. So what he says, so the people living in the cottage had the same simplicity that a poet would look or write for. Okay, and this had and this one, this family were able to manage. Okay, this family were able to gather these qualities. Okay, these qualities in themselves, because because they belong to the mountains. They live in those mountains, peaks, and chasm. Here, the meaning of chasm means the cracks on the house. Okay, the cracks from the house, which was there in the house. These cracks and all, they were living in the mountains and exposing to this through the exposing themselves to the nature through the cracks in their houses. Okay, this made them, okay, that means the family, even more connected to the outer environment. Okay, this was the reason why they were so connected with the outer environment. Moreover, the house, okay, it seemed to be a very romantic place. The house seems to be in a very romantic place, but was equally dangerous. That means this house was equally, like, it seemed very romantic, but at the same time it was very dangerous, because it was, the location of the house, right? Okay.